Welcome to the Tools, Tips, and Technology Show. Today, we're going to be talking about PR. That's public relations. And public relations is all about taking your ideas, your passions, your business, and shooting it out to whoever you think is going to enjoy it. And I am intrigued by how it's changed. So back in the olden days, now Aimee will be here in just a minute, and she is the PR expert. So we're going to hear from her. But I want to let you know that in the olden days, when PR was talked about, it meant that you were going to write a press release and then you were going to have somebody shoot it out to all the people in TV, radio, and I don't know, outside billboards. And I know that it worked. We had very limited things that we could watch, like Channel 2, 4, 7, sometimes 13, at least where I grew up near Detroit. We had a few radio stations, we had a few TV stations, we had the newspaper, and some magazines. Literally, that was all the input that was coming in. So a press release would shoot it out to the people in the television world, which wasn't much, but your message got seen because there wasn't very much for us to look at. It was amazing. So, what are you going to do? Nowadays, there's so much that there's no possibility you could reach that many people unless you were to get on all the television stations and let people know that there's a UFO hanging over Washington or something. You know what I mean? There's no possibility of you getting the message out to that many people. And so you have to remember that you have a niche, you have a certain segment of people that want your information. They want your information, they align with your information, and that's a great way to think about it. And guess who's here? Yay, Aimee. All right, we're going to go, go, go. Hey, Aimee. Oh, you're muted. I think I muted you. Here we go. There we go. Oh,
Okay, good. Yes. Sorry. My daughter's having a meltdown. It's one of those things.
hey, my hair's having a meltdown today. So.
Hey, it's just that kind of Tuesday. If it wasn't that kind of Tuesday, would it actually be a Tuesday or not? If you're not scrambling around in the morning trying to find your head, is it really Tuesday? That's what I ask myself. It gets me through my day. So
I am so amazed at all the things that have happened to me since I've met you. Well, I met you a long time ago, but since we started planning on doing some things together,
right.
all the different things that have happened to me. I've had to rush off to Michigan for family issues. I can't even. I'm going to write a book, Aimee. I'm telling you.
Hey, I'm all about it. I'm all about you should write a book and do it. I say that as I sit here and I work with authors and I've never written a book. So
I think we should write one together.
We should. I'm always down for collaborating. I'm always down. But
that's right. Well, while you were gone, I was explaining to the people about how old I am. Okay. In the olden days, we only had certain channels. So we had channel 2, 4, 7, 11, and sometimes 13 would come in if you held the antenna just right.
Okay.
And we had newspapers, which was the local evening news in our town.
Okay.
We had the national papers that Washington sent out, and then we had radio, and of course we had the local gossip. That was how news and your ideas got out into the press.
Right.
So if you hired a PR firm, they called them advertising agencies back then. If you hired them, they would come up with slogans and then they would shoot it out somehow through the press releases and through that type of thing. Now, what I'm discovering is you have to have a niche because there's no possibility you can get out to everyone like they did back then.
Right.
Now, there's so many channels coming in. once again, you could write a book about all the different channels that are coming in from live stream and okay, we're not going to go down all the different ways. So that's why I'm really excited to talk to you today about what is it if you're writing a book or you have an idea, a business idea or a passion that you need to get out, what does PR mean today? How does it work?
So PR today, with the whole social media movement and social media kind of coming around has changed the game. So I've always been around, mostly in, middle school and high school and stuff. I had social media. So it's not like, that advertising agencies and stuff that was, back in the day. But now it's, we can put press releases and release them to the media outlets, but we can put them on our LinkedIn channels and stuff like that have thousands of people in different audiences. We can also do more where it's direct targeting. So say that, there's someone that lives in Florida and they're doing an event in Miami, then we can directly target Miami's audience with this press release along with the worldwide to go with it and all of our social medias, which will cover the other half of the world, So it's opened it up where it's, one of those things where it's not so much like cold calling and hoping that they'll take it. You put in submissions and stuff for press releases and they look it over, but a lot of time, everything is just online. You have online magazines now instead of in person and things like that. So it was just shifting gears to being online, but the amount of people you can hit, in my opinion, is more. Now, when I say you can hit more people, that's not, coming to hit more people is going to cost you more money to release a press release. I mean, for a press release, if you're wanting to go nationwide with it and really hit it pretty hard, I mean, you're looking anywhere between $500 to $700, $1,000 to release a press release to big, huge news media outlets, right? So, I mean, it's not one of those that's inexpensive. It is expensive to do that, and it gets more expensive each year that I have found. So I like to leverage the power of social media in terms of PR and marketing and stuff because it's free. And if you run ads, you don't always have to run these big, huge, expensive ads. And though, the cost of ads is going up as well, but you can kind of leverage a lot of free audiences and stuff like that and connections. So I would say it's more going towards online connections and networking and stuff instead of so much in person. So
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So when you say more people, when I said, you got out to everyone because we were all watching the same channels.
Yeah.
Now everybody's watching something different.
Right.
So your neighbor is not going to see maybe what you're watching because they're off thinking about gaming and you're thinking about business or so wow, it's quite a difference.
You can do worldwide campaigns and you can do niche campaigns that go specifically towards the audience or the city that you're trying to impact, or that the event's being held on top of doing worldwide. I mean, there's so many different outlets and, press release outlets, media outlets, all of those things now, because you don't just have the ones that are on TV. Now you have just online distributions too. So then you have to cover both of those. And then on top of that, you have people and influencers now, right? It's an influencer market. And so you have to pay the influencers to have an ad spot for your product or whatever that you're doing. And, those don't come free. So it's one of those, it's to get the full bang of your buck and stuff. It will cost you some money to do it, but there's, like I said, there's ways to leverage free or to do trades and stuff like that, which I feel like kind of back in the day, there wasn't that opportunity because like you said, you were on just channels and those are the people that you hit kind of thing. And so now it's just massive.
Well, yeah, because you've got some people that do not watch TV at all anymore. If it's not online, on TikTok or YouTube or wherever they're hanging out, they're not going to see it. They might hear about it from somebody else. I'll give you an example. I quit watching the news because of all the
right.
Oh
yeah. I totally understand. I'm a much happier person. Okay. I'm a happier person. I stream everything. I have Hulu, Netflix, Disney. I'm a streamer, okay? So I stream everything. I don't have cable. But even though like in those avenues and stuff, they have news outlets and stuff that are only on streamed platforms that you can distribute
Right.
to.
That's right.
And more and more people are going towards streaming and kind of stepping away from cable. And so from that, then that you have to change that and be like, okay, well, what media outlets or services can I leverage on the streaming community, right? Because I'm like not anyone's ideal target market, and I'm in PR, okay? So maybe this is why. But in everything that I stream, I pay for the no ads because it's like I get inundated with ads on social media all day. I run ads. I don't want to see them. Okay, so I'm not anybody's ideal market. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that I'm not. But for people that have ads or whatever, you can do Hulu with live TV, which will give you commercials and stuff. So you have to kind of get creative and really know where your audience is going to be. And sometimes it's really hard if your business is kind of a solution for many, or if it's like a targeted niche, right? So, dealing with books, right? Because that's primarily what I work with. Let's just say, fiction books, fantasy books. Well, there's a huge market for fantasy books because fantasy can really be anything, like it could be anything with dragons. Sci-fi, fantasy can kind of be collaborated together. So it's a huge market. So knowing where exactly urban fantasy falls and the, people, what they're looking for in urban fantasy and what they're watching is going to be different, right? It would be like, some fantasies you could consider like Outlander and stuff. So when you're running ads or campaigns or PR, press releases, and you want to target those people that are watching those shows, reading those books, authors similar to those, right? And so that gets more targeted, and that's where it can cost more money. It can take more time, but you really have to kind of know your niche nowadays and where they are, which makes it, from an author standpoint and everything that I hear from authors, it's overwhelming and it's very scary to try to market your book on your own. Not that you can't do it. You can do it and take the overwhelm away. And that's why we're here today, to take the overwhelm away, because it can be very, very difficult. But the greatest advice I've told people, and once they kind of understand it and can wrap their head around it and change their mindset behind it, it's a lot easier. But you are your own consumer in business and in authorship and coaching, whatever it is that you do. You are your own consumer because you know that market and you knew that you could fill the hole that was presented in that market, right? And so you have to be able to step aside from the business and be like, what would I want to see that would make me buy this book, invest in this product or whatever? And once you can wrap your head around that, then things get a lot easier. But getting to that point is hard. And I'm not going to say that I got to it overnight. It's hard to explain because I didn't necessarily grow up with social media, but at the same time I did, right? There was Facebook, there wasn't all these other ones. And now there's like, I don't even know, there's so many now. And there's certain ones that are good for authors and certain ones that aren't, but it can get overwhelming. But when you look at it as what would I like to see, and you kind of take the business aspect out of it, then things become a lot smoother, I would say. It's hard to explain. It's like a feeling that you get, and you're like, yes, I really hit my target market because you're watching what I'm watching, because that's why I wrote the book, things like that. You'll get like an aha moment. Then you're like, oh, this is easy. I know what to throw up. I know what memes to put out there that they're going to like, things like that. So I think that would be like a game changer in a sense. But you wrote a book in your mastermind, Marian. You have a book out, which is affiliate marketing, right? And then you have this book coming out with your mastermind. So how was your experience doing that? That was a big collaboration.
Yeah, the affiliate marketing for fun and profit was literally because I loved it. I loved it. I still, to this day, receive money every single month from an affiliate that I set up many, many, many years ago. And it used to come in the mailbox. I used to call it mailbox money. It was an affiliate program that I believed in. I used it. I taught my clients with it. I basically loved it. And so I felt really good about sharing it with people with my link. And sure enough, they would sign up for it. And if they still have it today, I'm still making money on that today. So it's been pretty cool having that. I did not keep up with it though. So it's, I know that you could probably still buy it, but nobody does because it was written, 25 years ago, whatever.
It just needs to be updated. We could update it and put it back out.
We could,
Yeah.
but I'm not really into that anymore.
Right.
Although I think affiliate marketing is fantastic, and it made me a lot of money over the years. I've moved on to other things,
Right.
and so my interests now are about building communities, and so that's what the Mastermind wrote about: the diversity in all the different people in the communities that they built, that they had as a child, and maybe it grew, or maybe those went away and you replaced them with other communities. Building communities, that's what it's all about for me now. So my mastermind and I got together and we said, why don't we write this book together? So each member wrote their own experiences as far as what communities mean to them. And I'm excited about it because I get to work with you in the PR firm, using after we get the book up on Amazon, which should be any day now.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I get to see how you work. I get to see what your talent is all about.
Yeah.
Oh, I already have. I'm getting coffee delivered. Thank you very
Oh
much.
my goodness. Well, I will take it. I'll take it. I'll take her coffee.
Oh, Aimee will take it.
I'll take it.
Oh,
I'll take it.
And look, she put it in my favorite cup.
Oh, now that is just too nice.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. She's a keeper. Okay. I love her.
So we had really 3 experts helping us with this book. Now I'm not saying you need 3 experts, but we had somebody that knew about editing, knew about how to put the chapters together, how to structure the chapter and then your bio and anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's Kathy Loffman. You should look her up. She has an amazing stream of information that comes out every week. She has a newsletter and she's great, Kathy Loffman. I should put her stuff in the.
She is. Yeah, she's positivity and just. If you think of a loving person, for me, that's Kathy Loffman, like hands down. I love that woman. I am her biggest fan. So yes. I'm so jealous you wrote a book with her. I love it. I love it.
She's in our mastermind, and she took on the responsibility of all these cats, gathering them all up together, which is almost impossible. But she did it because we're all different. We're all different ages. We're all different. Businesses, we're all different types of people all over the country. And she was able to collect us all together, get us to write the same amount of words per se, so many words.
Right.
The bios, the same, all the things that come together with that. So that was her. So it's a compilation.
Okay.
Then we had somebody who was willing to help me get I did the cover. So the artwork for the cover. So he was able to help us, and that's Red O'Loughlin. He helped us to find out how to get it up on Amazon and make sure the cover looked right and all that stuff. So he's working on that as we speak. And then Aimee is taking it from there. Once it's up on Amazon, she's going to help us share it with the world. So it's exciting, I think. I think it's very exciting.
It is. It's exciting. My daughter's at my door, but it's okay. Aww. She's excited too. It's okay. No, it is exciting. You can tell this is a live show, everybody. Like this is live. This is a live show. But no, so the exciting part after putting your book out,
At
right?
least I had plenty of coffee.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Marian, I'm jealous of how much coffee you have because if this sound is any indication on how the rest of my day is going to go, people please say a prayer or something for me and the rest of my day. Anyways, it's too early to deal with that. But after you put out your book and everything everything like that, to me is the fun part because then it's a book launch party. It's getting you your ranking on Amazon. It's celebrating the milestone that you've accomplished because that milestone is a hard one to accomplish because you put so much heart and soul into writing your book and getting it out there, and you're kind of just throwing it out into the world and hoping that it's received well.
Aimee, I'm going to go ahead and do what we did earlier. All right, while Aimee goes and finds out what in the world is happening with her daughter, let me just tell you about this book and how we decided to write it and how long it took and everything, because you may have a book in you and you want to do the same. Now, I'm not saying it needs to be a collaboration, but oh my goodness, it was so much easier to help us come up with the title, the keywords, the artwork, everything. And I could probably even show you. Well, I'll do it when Aimee comes back. I'll show you the cover that we came up with. But to think about all the people's stories that are in this book, it's called Tuesdays at 8 because that's when our mastermind meets. Tuesdays, the @ at 8, Tuesdays at 8. And it's all about diversity in all the different ways that you can build communities, have support with your community and that type of thing. And one of the authors has passed away. She got COVID and passed away. So we dedicated the book to her. She was an integral part of our mastermind. We love her, and we're sorry that she had to leave us in such a short period of time. But I found the collaboration between everybody writing that book was the fun part. So if you're thinking about writing your own book, you might want to consider that. Consider writing it with someone else. It doesn't have to be a whole bunch of people. It could be one other person. So I know that even Stephen King has written books with somebody, which he doesn't have to. He probably did it because he wanted to. So you might want to think about that too. Now, I know PR covers more than just books, but today we're talking about books because Aimee, she has masterminds and she has groups that meet together because she handles authors in her business. So let me pull up her information again. Oh, and she's back with us. All right.
I'm back. Yes, I'm back.
Oops, wrong one.
Defeated,
Yay!
but I'm back. So now it's my little one, but she's not as loud, so that's okay.
So you can go to bookloversdelight.com to reach out to Aimee, and I also have some of her information, like her, if you want to send a note to her, Aimee at abundantlysocial.com. I was just telling them about, a little bit about why we wrote the book and how much fun it was doing it together. I had help with creating the cover. Everybody had to agree. There were 13 of us, and everybody had to agree. So that part maybe wasn't as fun as it could have been.
Oh my gosh, getting 13 people to agree. Oh my gosh, that's how I feel the same way on my 12 days trying to schedule everybody out. Okay. And there's 38. So I feel for you. Yes, that's not a fun thing, but it's in a way it brings you all closer together though, because you guys did this project together and you did it from start to finish together. So you understand collectively the hardship of being an author. So
and we had one lady who passed away, Christy Ruiz. She passed away before the book could be launched. And we do have, I heard you say celebration party and all that, So yes, we are going to have a launch party. It's not going to be the kind where people are invited. It's just the members, but we are definitely going to celebrate as soon as Red gives us the go ahead. And Aimee, we're hoping that you can come with us as well.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I gotta check my schedule and my kids, unless they decide to be a hot mess, but I'm working on it. But that to me is the funnest part about being an author and helping author and their PR and stuff is the book launch party and the celebration and the watching the rankings go up on Amazon, you hit that top 10 or the bestseller and you're just like, yes, I did it, and you can claim to fame that you're a best-selling author. And, for me, that's always the most fun. And so that's why I love what I do. It takes a lot of work sometimes and building relationships and stuff, but the reward for the author at the end is the highlight for me. And that's why I do it. It's why I love working with authors and celebrating them and getting people's stories, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, out into the world are important. So I love it. Makes it fun.
Yes, each person's story in our book, Tuesdays at 8, is about their experiences, and then bringing all those experiences together into one book, and then creating this cover, which we all had to agree on and approve, because it's the pictures of each person.
Yeah.
And so how personal that is when you have a picture of yourself. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Aimee, so we have about 5 minutes left. What do we need to know about PR, or need to know about you, or need to know about what we can create? Give us some gems here, some jewels.
Okay. Well, so we'll start with me, just background on me. I don't talk about myself very often. It's uncomfortable for me, but I'll do it. I will do it. So a little bit about me. I've actually started in social media marketing is where I started. And I started that 10 years ago, 10 years ago with Sandy. And I started my own social media marketing company, which is Abundantly Social. Sandy decided at the beginning of this year to retire and actually left her company to me. So I merged it with Abundantly Social. So if you've heard of Perceptive Public Relations, it is now Abundantly Social. We offer all of the same things, plus some more in there. And if you are an author and you're looking for help, we do have author-friendly bundles and stuff that you can reach out. We're more than happy to give you some insight information. We also have a membership group for authors that have publishers and stuff in there. They'll tell you when they're looking for submissions, what they're looking for, different writing styles. And it's a author community is what I like to call it. Now, in terms of gems, I'm going to tell you guys, if you're looking to speak on podcasts similar to ours about a topic or a business, anything like that, let me just tell you the greatest success I've had with my clients getting them booked, and I'm talking booked through the year into next year, is Radio Guest List. RadioGuestList.com. It's $8 to get the premium level, and you can look at podcast shows, radio shows, TV shows to your heart's content. You can submit and they'll talk to you directly. That is the greatest advice I can give you. It was the greatest advice given to me from Sandy. And press releases, whether you think they're useful or not, are incredibly useful. You should do a press release about every exciting thing that goes on in your business, a new program that you offer, product that you offer. Put it out into the world. People look at them. They still read them. They still go to them for guests and opportunities. So press releases may seem old school, but it's an old school that is staying around and it's quite useful. So I recommend writing one about anything that goes on. On top of that, let's see, another little jewel that I can give you.
Well, before you move on, so press releases, it's a go.
Yeah.
Radio guest list, it's a go. $8 a month or $8 one time? How does that work?
It's $8 a month to be a premium member. And what that will get you is they'll send you out a list 2 times a week of their featured ones that they think would be a good fit for you or your client base. There's also other ones from previous weeks that you can continue to go through and do submissions. All of the information, booking contact, the viewership that they get, their audience range, if they charge, how much it is, what the show's about, how you can get more information. All of that is detailed out and listed, and it's super easy to use. I love it.
So if we're a client of yours, do we pay you the $8 a month and you
No,
handle
I
it?
pay. No, I pay the $8 a month for myself, and then I book everybody else through the show. If there is a booking fee, I usually absorb that, and then that'll come out when I charge you for your next visit or whatever it is. I will say I have had a great success with this show, Queens and Kings, out in New York. It's a radio show that reaches 1.5 million people a week. And that is the most success I've had booking my clients. They have a fun time. They get good return on their investment for their websites, people going, contacting them, calling from all over. And so that's kind of what you want. And that's the whole purpose of it. So I'm a firm believer in radio guest lists. There are some other ones for podcasting. If you're only wanting to do podcasting, I'm more than happy to send those out in an email if you would like those. But, press releases and radio guest list are huge things for me that I use every day. And then, to get more complicated, you can always do, if you decide to write a book and you're going to launch it and you really want to try to get that bestseller, look into promo stacking, which is just stacking promotional sites and finding good promotional sites, what their average email list is and things like that. So those would be the three biggest things that I can give you. Those are the three biggest things that I do. It's how I've been successful in all of the best sellers that me and Sandy have created over the years, which has been, I've lost count. But it's one of those that can also help you become an international bestseller. And it's the greatest thing. Yeah. So I love it. It's so much fun. I mean, I could go on and on about all the little gems and stuff, but those are the top three. Those are the three I use every day.
Wow. Well, yeah. I definitely want people to contact you to ask you some questions about either writing a book, or if they already have a book, hiring you to do what you do best, which is one of the coolest things ever. And I love your Book Lover's Delight, but you also have your abundantlysocial.com. So you can reach Aimee either place. And I know that you can tell how friendly she is. She's willing to talk to you about your project, whether it's already completed or you're just thinking about it. Like me, I'm thinking about writing a book with Aimee because we have so much to say. We really do. We could write a book together, whether it's fiction or not.
I am down for it. That's like your affiliate marketing, book. I know Sandy used to go on and on about that book and how much she loved it. And she was trying to get me to, do the affiliate marketing. And I was like, Sandy, I can't figure this out. Like, I don't know what to do. It was one of those things. I'm like, I'm not meant to be this affiliate marketing person, Sandy. I just don't get it, So I think that's great that you've had such success with it and wrote a book on it, because I know a lot of people, they make a really good living doing that. And I was like, I'm not successful in this realm, so it wasn't meant for me. But I think it's fantastic. I think that's a great income opportunity and avenue opportunity. And so I'm a huge advocate for it. I can't tell you how to do it. So I'm going to send them to you, Marian.
Oh, so much fun. All right. Well, I have her on record saying she wants to write a book with me. So now comes the easy part, coming up with an idea.
Yeah, that's the easy part. The easiest part is, what are we going to write about?
I asked her this morning, I said, oh, what are we going to talk about today? She's like, well, don't you remember me last week we talked about PR? And I was like, oh, yeah. Do you know how much stuff has happened to me between last week and this week? If you didn't know me as an honest person that I am, you would say, oh, you've got to be making all this up. You cannot possibly have all that happen to you in 1 week's time. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. It's like that end of the year thing, You're like, you didn't have anything at the beginning of the year, so it's just going to hit you all at the end of the year. And you're like, come on, man, space it out, okay? Space it out. It'll be all right.
But, I'm so grateful for my attitude, because I literally could be a basket case right now. But instead, I'm just laughing. And Amy's like, come on, let's go. We can do this. And I'm like, we can? Okay.
I'm slightly freaking out, Aimee, but okay, we're going to do this.
We're going. I got 15 minutes. Okay, I can do this.
Right?
Oh, dear. Thank you, Aimee, for hanging out with me today and talking about PR. I know it's got to be one of your favorite things to talk about, because that's what you do. And you wouldn't be doing it. I know you. You would not be doing it if you didn't love it. So
no. Yeah. No, I definitely would not be doing it if I didn't love it. It's a time-consuming, frustrating thing sometimes, but the reward for me and authors is just it keeps me going. It's one of the things I just love. Even if I didn't get paid to do it, I would probably still do it because I love it. It keeps me on my toes. So
Yes. Thank you. Well, everybody, thanks for coming and tuning in with us today. We hope that you'll go and check out some of our other programs that we've had. You can go to YouTube and see all the little cool places that you can poke on and get a little taste of what it's like to be with Aimee and Marian. All right. Until next week, we'll see you down the road.
Bye, everybody.